Here's a question from someone wrote in and said, why does Torah say Israel can't eat things that died of themselves, but they can give it to the alien resident within their gates to eat it, if it's one exact same Torah for all? This is a great question. This is something that I actually had a lot of trouble with in my own walk. This is one of the things that I, if we're all, going to be under the covenant, what then? This is specifically addressed in the first chapter of my father's book, Fellow Heirs, which I would encourage everyone to pick up and read. There's a digital format of it, which you can get on Torah Resource, or you can buy the hard copy, which I always recommend, because it's always nice to have a hard copy of a book. Anyway, not the point. Would you like to tackle that? This more speaks to the Hebrew that's used, the word here that's used. I take it to mean that you can give it to someone who is not part of the covenant people of Israel, someone who's passing through and not a member of the covenant. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, we have to, here again, we get to the idea of the ger. What is a ger?
Yeah.
In the scriptures? And it's clear that ger has a more than one meaning. And we, like with all terminology, we have to look at context. We have both are in the Torah, both are true. I think one is in Deuteronomy, one is in Leviticus. And we have to say, well, both of these are true. How can they both be true? And I think you just hit the nail on the head. One is in Leviticus, it's just as clear. It's if an Israelite or a ger eats something treifa, they both are ritually, they're tameh. They're unclean until, and they have to bathe, and then they're unclean until evening.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a no-brainer. So it tells us clearly in Leviticus, and I'm hoping, I haven't looked at this for a while, I believe the Leviticus is where the law says you're unclean till evening. The Deuteronomy passage, and again, I might have these swapped, but the other one where it says you can give it to the ger or sell it is an act of mercy for other people who are hungry, who are outside the covenant community and are not interested in their status with respect to worshiping God at the Mishkan, at the tabernacle. So you give it to them, and it's an act of mercy in that you're feeding a human, but you're also acknowledging with that they are you're not compelling them with the idea that, okay, now you're unclean now, because if they're just passing through and they're not there to worship, doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. That's my boiled down version. I think in your dad's book, Fellow Heirs, he does a really good job with that as well.
Yeah, he talks about it for an entire chapter, and there's absolutely no way. I mean, I know this is kind of a cop-out, but there's absolutely no way that we're going to be able to talk in a short 5 to 10 minute segment and give you the ins and outs of the various workings of the word ger toshav. This is precisely why my father wrote essentially an entire book on this subject of what is a stranger and was there such thing as a proselyte. So I strongly recommend my father's book, Fellow Heirs.